See the stumbling blocks, I just slipped on cracks. It's commandment laws, so we need to stay on track. Your heart as I have that mercy, put it on my back. One body with your how shy, no, so we can't move slack.
Right, we are the Israelites. We're coming in week out to bring out the truth that we need to come out from among the heathen, be separate, and to keep the Most High's laws, statutes and commandments. And we need to know what is required of us. What is required of us in this Babylon, in this nation where every nation is doing their own thing. Yeah, we're going to start by turning to Jerusalem and giving all praises, honor and glory
unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Bahar Rakah Kadash.
And we give honours to the Israelites that are listening, to the elders of the, double honours to the elders of the house of David, to the mothers, to the fathers, who are raising up the children, raising up the young, to keep the laws, statutes and commandments. We're out here to reinforce the laws that we've got to keep.
The so-called black Native Americans.
And that's it, and the so-called black Latinos, Native Americans. And you are the Israelites. You've been separated from our heritage, and now it's time to wake up and keep the laws, statutes and commandments. Brother, can you bring out Psalms 133, verse 1?
This is the book of Psalms 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
So we, as the Israelites, we need to come together in these last days and dwell, come out from among the heathen and dwell together. You know, you might be at home opening up the word and having that fellowship as you're watching this live this stream, but it's good to link up with fellow Israelites, dwell together, and open up the book of the law and read.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up, rose before power and men. The unity of brethren.
What?
The unity of brethren.
The love of neighbors, a man and his wife that agree together.
We see we need to come together in that unity. These are beautiful things when the Israelites come together and dwell under the laws, statutes and commandments of the Most High. Bring it out.
This is the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass, as a chaff, before the furious anger of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, come upon you, before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you.
Can you bring that out again? That's beautiful.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff, before the furious anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
You see, that's clearly saying we need to gather together because we are a nation that they think are at the bottom of society. We are in the drug houses, we are on the streets, we are out there in the lowest paid jobs, you know, last hired, first fired. And you know, we are at the bottom of society, but we need to get together because we are the nation not desired. The Bible says the first will be last and the last will be first. We are the new kingdom that's going to come upon the earth. As Esdras talks about. We need to gather together.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1.
Bring that out.
And Jacob swore unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you which shall befall you in the last days.
Yeah, so we are the ones, we are the prophets, we are the ones who are going to be given these prophecies that we know what's going to take place in that stage. We can foresee because the scriptures tell us what will happen in these last days.
Verse 2, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
That's right.
See, and that's clear. We need to hear what our forefathers told us about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, gathering together, not being an island, not being on your own, but opening up the book of the law together. And then we're coming in every week on this Shabbat to bring out the word so that you may hear and know that we need to separate ourselves from the world. Because in 1 John chapter 2 verse 15, you can bring it up.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. First John chapter 2 verse 15. Love not the world.
Love what?
Love not the world.
Neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
You see, now that's the world. This is the world. The world is a government system. We need to come out from the world and love not the things of the world. All these celebrations which they follow, you know, with Easter, with Valentine's, with Christmas. These are the things of the world which they follow. And all what's in the world, clearly, is not what we should be following.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of power abideth forever.
Wow.
See, that's self-explanatory. The lust of the world, the pride as well. The pride, when we're talking about the pride, you look at the pride of this world, they've built up these nations with concrete jungles. You know, they've destroyed the natural habitats, destroyed everything, built up their kingdoms, and you know, and destroyed and sprayed the air with pollutants. And this is the world system. And whilst we are in it, we are not of this world. So we need to come out of this world and keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and separate ourselves along with the world of Israel. Yeah, that's it.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil, neither shall I speak to decline, neither shall I speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment.
God. You see, and that's about following this world system, because everything in this world system is about self-gratification. It's about idolatry. It's about following all sorts of manners of wickedness and idolatry, as I said. So we need to not follow the multitude to do evil. They continue to do evil in every aspect. You know, even like with the Olympics that are on now, the opening ceremony was all about pure wickedness and blasphemy against the Most High. Now, if you're following that, if you're into all these sports, they've got all these undertones of wickedness and unrighteousness. We need to not follow them to do evil. A lot of these sports, which they undertake, they've got all these historic undertones which are ungodly. So we need to come out from among them.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
To do what?
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 1.
Yeah, you see, during the Greek period, we were forced, the Jews, the Israelites, who were Hellenized, they were forced to keep the laws of the heathen. Forced to keep the custom, that's the word, the custom of the heathen, and to follow a multitude to do that and to separate from their own laws. And this is a period that was happening then, and it's still happening now. And in time of Maccabees it was happening, and in time of now, where you're encouraged and effectively forced, even in work employment, you have to comply with certain customs. And if you don't, you might get reported to HR that you're not conforming to their ways of celebrating or remembering certain festivities. So we need to remember that just as it was then, it is now. So we need to ensure that we keep our eyes stayed on the Most High, keeping law, statutes and commandments.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man to Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not live after the laws of God, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus. And that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of the strangers, as they did desire that that dwelled in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and revelry by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place, and besides that brought in things that were not lawful.
See, polluting the temple of the Most High is a serious thing, whereby the temple was there for the Jews to keep as a special place of holiness, and to pollute it was an abomination. And just now, where we have our temple is our bodies, and we cannot pollute our temples. We cannot pollute it with eating the wrong foods such as pork. As Israelites, we are forbidden to eat certain fishes, seafoods, pork, which will pollute and contaminate our temple.
Verse 5, the altar was also filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Oh God. You see, so back with the Maccabees, they were strict on forcing the Israelites to come out from their faith in the Most High and to start to keep profanity, and to follow the Gentiles, and to become Gentiles. You know, to come and start to not keep the Sabbath, not keep the Shabbat, which is our holy day.
Wow.
So they forced our fellow forefathers to keep days which are to their gods, to their idols, and to come away from eating our righteous food and start to eating things which are forbidden and unlawful. So we need to remember that as it was then, it is now. So this basically, we need to remember, we need to keep the laws, statutes and commandments as a reminder.
This is 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 33. Because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth and the goddess of the Zidonians, Shemosh, the god of the Moabites, Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments as David his father.
You see, and following after the Ammonites, following after the other Moabites, following after the heathens, this was not what King David had called them to do. They're not following after the order of their forefathers. You know, following after the heathen is an abomination unto us.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Verse 4. Because of the multitude of whoredom, of the well-favoured harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredom, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh, power of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and will show the nations thy nakedness, and thy kingdom thy shame.
Oh God! You see, and the scripture there talks about woe, woe unto those nations, woe unto those nations who follow after whoredom. Now, and woe unto us if we follow those nations that follow after whoredom and idolatry. And you see, these nations are going to be in total destruction. And we need to remember that the Most High, He's the one that controls everything. The Most High, He's the one that's written the storybook. He's written the ending. He's the first and the last, the beginning and the end. And these nations which are before us, they're above us, they are high, but only for a time. And we're seeing in these last days that there is a confusion that is taking place with the nations. They first have come together, they agreed together to have us in captivity. If you can bring Psalms 83 for me, please.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83. Where do you want to start from?
Yeah.
Do you want to start from 3?
From 3, yeah.
From 3? Psalms 83 verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off and be in a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
See, so all these nations, they've all had a part to play in spoiling, in keeping the Israelites in captivity. They have confederate together, they have joined together in one accord to keep us in this low estate.
But they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederacy against thee. The tabernacle of Edom.
The what?
The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes.
Edom, so-called white man, Ishmaelites, Arab, and the Hagarenes, so-called Hamites,
and Moab.
And Moab as well, the Chinese. See, these have all come together with the company of nations, what do you call it, the United Nations, rather. The United Nations come together. They have these secret councils to ensure that we, as the Israelites, we are kept in low estate and docile, and we just follow their customs. They, we just like to have party, black party, and drink and rave and commit all sorts of promiscuity and adultery, and they like to keep us down. They run the multimedia, they run the music industry to ensure that we bring out music that only degrades each other. We are not allowed to bring out music that will uplift each other. So these are confederate. It's a system that's set up to bring us down.
It's in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 20 and verse 28. And thou shalt be smited with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
So what?
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled for evermore, and no man shall save thee.
You see, so Moses wrote this. It's quite clear, this prophecy, that we will be in such a low estate, groping around at noonday. And he talks about blindness. Now, it's not necessarily a physical blindness, it's a spiritual blindness. You do not know what's going on. You're going about your day, following the customs of this world, not realizing that you are so blind. You don't realize. Institutionalized. Yeah, institutionalized into this kingdom. You don't realize that you're. Yeah, the schooling system. The prison system. That's it, Khan. The prisons, the schooling, the educational establishments, the laws, even the medical field. You're just following after the ways of this world. Exactly, Khan. You're slaves to this system. And we need to know that we need to wake up and come out from among them.
This is just going on what you were saying about the heathens laughing at us, and obviously us making music to kill each other and not coming together as a nation. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 80 and verse 6. Thou makest us to strive unto our neighbour, and our enemies laugh amongst themselves. So like the brother was saying, they make us, we thrive in making music about killing each other, while the enemies and the oppressors profit off of that money. So while they're sitting there laughing at us, we're killing each other. But now we're actually bringing up the law and the commandments. The brother's saying, leave the wickedness and turn to righteousness, so we can flip the script on them like the Most High has prophesied, man.
So could you just do that Psalms 2 and 4 before you go.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall love.
So what?
Shall love. Yahweh shall have them in derision.
And this is linking to what the brother was just saying, that their time will come to an end. The Most High is going to laugh at their destruction, and we're going to see it. We're going to see the destruction of our enemies, and we will laugh, and we will celebrate. This will be a time of rejoicing for us. When that time shall come.
What's that saying? Just you gets the last laugh.
That's right. Right.
This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help in our watching. We have watched for a nation that could not save us.
That's right. You see, and how many times over history have we seen leaders rise up? Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther, so many leaders come up, and you think, even Malcolm X, that they're going to set us free from this oppression. But it's vain, it's worthless, it's not going to come to nothing, because Our help is going to come from Yahweh Shai himself, the armies, the Most High. And he's going to come to redeem us. We can wait for the leaders of our communities to come and to try and make changes, but they're not going to redeem us. They're not going to save us. Our help is going to come with the mighty God, Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai, with his army. And there's going to be bloodshed. It's not going to be a smooth transition of power. It's not going to be a handover. There's going to be blood that's shed when the Most High shall deliver us from Yahweh Shai.
This is Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 16. Wait, I said what's that? Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by their hands at thee, so all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole world? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it.
God. You see? Yeah, that's true.
That's what we've got right now.
That's clearly, They clap, they're looking at us like we're just either entertainers, we're just fools on the street. We have no purpose. You're shaking the head saying, yeah, you've got no purpose, we're nothing. And this is prophesied that the nations will look at us like this. So we need to remember that we are royalty. We are kings. We are gods on this earth. And you may laugh, you may think that we are nothing, but we are children of the Most High God.
That's right.
And you're a king, young man. You're a king, you're a God on this earth. If you're a child of God, if you're an Israelite, you're a God on this earth. And not,
You're not Japanese.
And we've got the original martial arts,
You're stronger than Japanese.
That's right. And we are mighty on this earth. And so we need to remember that whilst the other heathens that laugh at us, that look at us as entertainers, they just look for us to be in industries just to entertain. In the sports, in the Olympics, in the 100 meters sprint, hurdles, they look to us. In the football.
To win the trophies for them, right?
That's right. Just to win them. So they have the coaches, the managers, they're above that, they control, and they just use us as some form of...
To gamble.
That's it.
All of them are a bunch of just gamblers, pedophiles, rapists,
that's
murderers,
right.
thieves.
In America...
They're clowns. Yeah, they're a bunch of clowns, man.
That's right. In America...
Yeah, she just helps. They're all a bunch of clowns.
In the NBA, if you look at all the owners of the NBA, who owns them? It's not Israelites. That's why it's white. It's Amalek who owns them. Mostly. And they control it. American football, and they're the ones that are causing us to entertain, just like we were in Rome when we were in the arenas. And the Greeks. We were there to be the entertainers.
Persians.
And in the Persian.
Egyptian.
That's right.
For their slaves.
That's right. For their entertainment, for their joy.
What slave is, isn't it? What slave is?
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Is that again?
The earth is given in the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
The whole earth is controlled by the wicked. They use iconoclasm to paint their images onto Yahweh Shai himself, but also onto many things that we've invented.
actually think that Egyptians are white skinned.
That's right. Yeah.
They think Israel are white skinned.
That's right. Yeah, there was a film called Gods of Egypt, and all the characters are so-called white.
The Egyptians
Yeah.
are Caucasian. Egyptians, and on the hieroglyphs in Egypt, not one of them looked white.
That's it. And that is the blatantness of the heathen nations. They will happily take over our images.
Their images. Even the Hamites' images. Hamites are upset right now.
That's it.
Africans are pissed off with white people as well. They go blow off the noses.
That's it, yeah. Of the Sphinx.
Alright.
They won't have any
Why did they go there and blow off the noses? Because they're racist, man.
That's right.
They go there and shut the noses off, man.
Because you see, we've got the best features. The broad noses, I think lips, or even, they're trying to have their operations to look like us. But yet still, they want to distort our images so that they can have their image as the epitome of beauty.
Growing up, yeah, there was films called Carry On. I had Barbara Windsor. It's like these Carry On songs. Yeah, they need to laugh at race. They need to make racism a comical thing.
That's right, yeah.
They'll go to other countries like India or wherever they went and show their military force and how they destroyed countries. I've made it comical to be racist and how they colonize countries.
Right, yeah. It's just like Western as well, yeah. Same thing.
The Western's there, but it's not comical, the Western.
No.
It's more, but they need to like make it a funny joke on the way they use the power structure to destroy like mad kingdoms, man.
Right. And that's how they do with these films, television. It's all part of the programming, so that you will not remember your past. You will think, you watch these programs, these comedies, and you'll be institutionalized. You to think that, the white man is the God, and I need to be subject onto whatever agenda he's got. And that's how we are so destroyed. And it's like when the brother brought out Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is their kingdom. This is not our kingdom. Our kingdom is to come. But every aspect of this kingdom is controlled by them, and that's why we need to come out from among them, be separate.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. And there you shall serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and thou shalt put an yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou be destroyed.
That's right.
So, like the brother was saying, we're in this condition and we're serving our enemies, but we have to go to these heathens for everything. But now that we're waking up, the Most High is actually giving us some blessings, but we still have to go through this captivity because we have a job to do and a duty to do, and that's to wake up the lost sheep of Israel, which is so-called black Native Americans, some of the Indians.
That's right. Yeah, so basically we are Islam, need to wake up. But what I'm going to now is to look at the good news. The good news. What's the good news? Yahweh talked in the book of Luke, what is the gospel? And it's explained in Isaiah 61. You see, we have to remember that this is not going to continue forever. There is a time limit on the rulership of this kingdom. And there's the destruction that's going to come to take place. And you might think that, the destruction is going to be in a way where you perceive it, where you can say, well, yeah, I know that the earth is going to end and it's just going to end suddenly, and that's it. We've had our fun, we've had our rulership, and that's going to be the end. But no, it's not going to be as quick and as easy like that for you. Destruction is going to be, you know, as it were, 10 times worse. And there's going to be a confusion amongst you people, because we're starting to see now that, as we read earlier, when we were confederate together in Psalms 83, was it 83? You are confederate together that you will come against the children of Israel. Now that is falling apart. You are no longer coming together. You are no longer agreeing about your rulership. And there's starting to become a confusion amongst yourselves. And it's leading to your destruction. And you may not even know it. But there is going to be a destruction on a massive scale. If you bring out to me 1 Samuel 14 and bring it out from verse 20.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 14 and verse
20.
And verse 20, and it reads, "And Saul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great discomfiture. Moreover, the Hebrews that was with the Philistines before that time, which went up."
You see, this is a classic example of the heathen who have got this pride in themselves. They can rule, colonize every land, and they can walk anywhere they want. And that's the pride of Esau.
1 Samuel chapter 14 verse 21. "Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, which went up with them into the camp from the country round about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites, and were with Saul and Jonathan."
You see, what this passage of scripture is talking about is when Saul and his army were coming up against the Philistines, and they were set. He had about 600 men who was ready for a battle, but yet his son Jonathan and his armor bearer, they said, "Let us come, let us go up against these heathen." And that was that boldness. And they went up knowing that the Most High was with them. And they went up and they fought up to 20 men, and they slayed them. And it caused confusion, and it caused them to start to put a sword against each other and start to fight the Philistines. And that even encouraged the Hebrews who were in captivity, who were slaves to the Philistines, even them to rise up and to fight against the enemy. So the nations of this world right now know this, that when your destruction comes, there's going to be a confusion. The Bible says a discomfort. It's like there's a discomfort, if you like, amongst themselves, whereby they think that they've got their army ready, they've got their position, they know that what they've got to do, but yet still the Most High brought confusion amongst them, and it brought about their destruction to the extent that the Israelites that were also amongst them and captives, they rose up against them. So know this, that the heathen, that your destruction is going to be in confusion. And we're starting to see this take place in many ways, where we look at what's going on around this country. We're seeing riots that are taking place, different towns and cities. And these are riots amongst these own heathens, amongst their own. So,
Jeremiah 16,
Come.
19,
16 and 19.
19. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 19. O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress, my refuge in the time of the day of my affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
See, and these nations, when they begin to fight, we need to wake up our people, but the nations, they're going to know who their forefathers were and what lies they've been told, and they're going to start to come and even grab the skirt of us as Jews, as the real Jews. So the nations are going to realise as well that they have inherited lies, that they have the whole system that they've been a part of has been built on false premises. Even what they're taught about from schools, about the very environment they live in, their very heavens, the astrology, astronomy, the constellations, they've been taught lies based on falsehoods about naming stars after their false gods. And they're going to realise that, oh, that was a lie. See, so what I'm basically bringing out is these nations, there is going to be an end to their rulership. There's going to be confusion amongst them. And if you bring out 2nd Esdras 13, 29. 2nd Esdras 13.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 13 and verse 29. Behold, the day comes when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
So these are the last days. We're starting to see the Most High beginning to visit, because we're seeing these take place before our very eyes. We're seeing nations, we're seeing kingdoms, we're seeing realms, we're seeing governments start to fight against each other. So we need to know that this is a sign that these are the last days.
It's not just the government system as well, it's the undermined people, like the brother saying, the writing that's going on. Those are the minor people. Now the minor leagues are now getting involved in this prophecy. Now that Most High stirring up that spirit in them to fight against each other. That's why it's saying people against each other, one people against each other, because now they're fighting their own system, their own government system. It's an uproar of imbalance. This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand to fight against another, and the swords in their hands, and there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power.
You see, and that's another qualifying precept, that these nations are going to start to draw against, come against each other, seditions amongst men. You know, and we think that we've got some element of freedom now. Just wait when they start to have lockdowns again, and they start to have more restrictions, and then you start to see which side you're leaning on. You know, who is your God? Who are you going to serve? Who's your master? And you might think that you might be aligned with your fellow colleagues, your fellow friends, saying, yeah, he's my friend, I can hang with him, I can run with him. But if you bring out Amos 3, yeah, you think that everything's cool. You know, my friend will never turn against me. but you're going to start to see a clear distinction against which people and who. So what God that we serve, and it's going to start to turn, and you'll see it. It's going to become binary. That's what I'm looking for. Binary, because you see it now. With even just like what's going on in Gaza, it's like you've got a clear distinction. People either say they're either for Palestine or against. It's almost like there's no in between. And there's going to come a time when you're going to decide who are you for. Amos 3 and 3.
This is the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
So you have got to look at who are you walking with? Who are you sharing with? Are they keeping the law, statutes and commandments? Are they eating the right lawful food? Are they keeping Shabbat? Are they leading you astray? And then you have to decide, are you going to follow that path? Or are you going to separate yourself and be holy as the Most High has called you to be? So, yeah, so basically, we need to come, separate ourselves, and know that the destruction is coming, and it's going to be a case of issues among men, realms turning against each other, kingdoms turning against each other, and fire combating us. And we need to make sure we come out from among these heathens. And so I'm going to leave it there and hand over to the next mighty speaker.
I ain't teaching from the brother on earth. So we're just going to follow up from where he actually started, man. So brother brought up a very important topic of the times that we're in. Get me second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1, and then on top of that Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26.
This is the book of second Esdras chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
And that's what the prophetic times that we're in. What the brother is bringing now is a perfect example of what's going on in this day society. Everybody's getting caught up with this Olympics that's going on, the 2024 Olympics, and not realizing what's going on behind the scenes. We have nations that are in France right now, they won't show it on the news, but France is in rioting right now. Most of France are not, they're not bound together, they are fighting against their government system. That's why the Olympics was almost about to be delayed. They was going to delay the Olympics and not even have it on. Even the people are now against the Olympics because of the pollution of the water. They're against the government system for polluting the water. So all of this is going against their agenda, but it's working in favour of the Most High, because he prophetically told us this was going to happen in Esdras. He gave Esdras the vision to write the books again. This is why we are understanding of the times that we are in. Now nations are rising up against each other and fighting one another. It's no longer a black on black crime. It's nations against their own people.
That's right.
You know, and that's beautiful to see. If you're an Israelite that is in this truth in this day and age, you should be giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yashad that you are witnessing his marvelous works that hand. But these nations are not going to stand together for long.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25.
Hold on. But bring out your picture. Bring out your
This is 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, and verse 6. And nation was destroyed of nation and city of city, for God did vex with them all adversaries.
Brother, you got one moment to hear this. Just listen to this real quickly.
And nation was destroyed of nation and city of city, for God did vex them with all adversaries.
God did what?
God did vex them with all adversity.
So the Most High put that spirit on these nations, man.
Adversity, with all adversity.
Yeah, the Most High, the Most High put the spirit on these nations. He sent out that spirit against these nations. Yeah?
Right.
And that's something we should be happy about. Get me Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. Because these are the things we should be rejoicing about now that we're waking up and we're doing these things. Because this is a part of the law as well. Everything that's happening is written within the law. All of these prophecies that come through are written within the law. Let me start one real quickly and then we're going to jump to this one.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse. Deuteronomy 32 verse 7. Remember the days of old, consider the years. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Upon who?
Upon thine enemies.
So all the curses that you spoke back, the Native Americans and the English and the Latinos spoke through, all the curses, the atrocities that we have to go through, the hanging, the lynching, the single parent household, the fighting on one another. The Most High said he's going to put all them curses on our enemies.
That's right.
So now he's flipping the script and flipping the table, really.
And on them that hate thee, which persecute.
And all of those that hate us and persecute us, you're going to see who are the wicked. Because the Most High says he's only going to do that to the wicked that done that to his people. These are very prophetic times that we're in. The curses are now flipping. We are becoming more spiritually awoken to the law, statutes and commandments, while the heathens cannot stand together and band together to rule their country and to rule their kingdom.
That's right.
Read this, King.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts,
Yeah.
and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
It's doing what?
Is brought to desolation.
So when the prophet brought out that beautiful precept, the last precept he brought out, Amos chapter 3 and verse 3, can two walk together unless they be agreed? These nations were confederate against us. They was in agreement at one time. Now, they can't agree. So their kingdom is not standing. They can't agree no more. They can't walk together. Read.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
And that's what it is. They are a house together. They banded together to make one big global house. Like the UN, that's one big global house. That they are not bound together. Then they're unstable. They can't agree with each other. It's a bit shaky for them. The house is falling apart. Their kingdom is crumbling. Yeah, read.
And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself.
Yeah.
How shall then his kingdom stand?
So now, Putin and Biden, or who's going to be next, whoever's going to take that seat next, they're going to be fighting against them. Russia and America are fighting against each other, and the UK being on the same side as America are fighting against each other. Now, Putin's coming out with a black Madonna. He's saying, no, we're not going to do your nonsense anymore. We're going to start sticking to the script and the prophecy, you know? They're going to start doing what the Most High's rule, what the Most High's put on him as God and Magog. He's using that, and he's using his instrument now.
That's right.
These are the times that we need to start acknowledging who these nations are and what the Most High is doing with them, what he's stirring up amongst them, because of it's not just for their destruction, it's also to get us to rest, because we need to go get that rod of iron ourselves. We are still yet in this state in our captivity, but we have a grace period where we can learn how to survive this. Get me
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse,
grab me to Jeremiah.
and verse 40.
Jeremiah.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
So that's this Roman captivity right we're in now. That iron is because we never left the Roman captivity. I don't think people understand. We've been in this Roman captivity since the Roman captivity, since the Messiah. They've just hidden themselves and put themselves a different name. We're still under that Roman rulership. The Caesars are still on the plane.
So we're still doing Greek customs.
We're still doing Greek customs with the Olympics. Nothing has changed. All they've done is just change their name and made a religion. They didn't change a religion. They made a religion.
They stopped doing Zeus and Aphrodite and Hercules
now that's become their mythology.
Medusa, but they just turned it into Caesar Borgia. They just turned it into Caesar Borgia. He's Hercules.
Yeah, he said to be Hercules. He ain't no Yahushua of mine.
Yes, you know? Verse 41, Daniel 2:41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Exactly.
The American England are the stronger part of the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
but the clay bit is the rock part.
The rock, that
is the Russia part.
And what happened? Remember, it started from the head and it's working its way down to the body. You got to the feet now. That's the last part of your body. That means this is the last part of their rulership. Done.
And we see that with the Brexit of the oil supply and the power supply to England.
Yeah,
they were making money. Remember the Chelsea guy that was that big guy that had shares in Chelsea. Abramovich. Had big, he's got yachts that with helicopters and cannons on it. But and then one day was a part of like England. He lived in England. He had land and businesses and infrastructure in England, but he was Russian. So there was already like a segregation of the English that don't want to deal with the clay part. The iron's like.
And the Russians, they still own a lot of the property over there, don't they? Remember?
Can't stop the signal.
And these are, like I said, this is all one household now falling apart. The feet's getting a bit crusty now, they're getting a bit dry.
The toes are getting
the toes are getting a bit active. Yeah, man.
Callable pepper blisters and that.
You see how people say, yeah, I'm strong on my feet. And then they get a little, now they're walking stick. What happened to your feet, man? That's what's happening to the nation. They're getting weak, man.
That's what happened to this kingdom.
That's what's happening to this kingdom. It's getting weak. And that's a prophecy that we need to see. Go on, continue.
Daniel chapter 2 verse 42. And as the toes and the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Yeah.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
So what they're going to do is trying to band together with all these other nations, what Israel's been doing from the jump. Sleeping with all the other nations, trying to band each other with all the other nations, Mongolize, profit off them, and trying to build this. It's not going to work. The foundation is weak already. The infrastructure is weak now.
Right.
So either you get right, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Indians, either you hear this prophecy, you get right or you get left, because this nation is weak.
And even with the Turkish, the Goma now, she's gone back to Turkey because, like we were saying, they're no longer. They're gonna go back to the Isaiah 13, innit? Everyone's gonna go back to their own lands. They're like, why am I mixed up with you guys, man? She's like, why don't you lot go back home? That's what she was saying last year.
She's like, yeah, why don't you go home?
She got her degree, and then she's gone back.
Yeah. Why don't you go? And we're like, bro, you can't go home. You carried here. You can't do it. Give me
No, bring it out. 13. Okay, 13.
Yeah.
Is it the plug? Oh. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 13.
Yeah, so you're really going to do that when we're actually doing something? That's a bit rude, you know. That's actually a bit disrespectful.
Oh, she said no.
Yeah, still, you know, like the brother said, that's their pride. She can clearly see we're doing something, but she still wants to walk past. Shalom, sister. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Speaking.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Yeah.
They shall every man turn to his own people.
Like she said, she's going to go to her people and ask them for money because she needs to go home. Yeah.
And flee every one into his own land.
So no one's going to be joining hand in hand. The iron and the clay, they're not mixing. You can't try and smash the other nations because they're going to be like, nah, I'm sticking to my own. Like she did. She come here, used it for what she wanted to use it for, and took what your knowledge and gone back. And a lot of spies do that, don't they? Not a lot of spies do that. A lot of spies go into other people's country, they learn their little infrastructure, the way they do their teachings and their computering, and then they go back home to their own country and they be like, yeah, this is how they do it.
She's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, psychiatrist.
She learned the minds of the British people.
Yeah, she's gonna go back and say, yeah, they're weak, you know.
And she was impressed with
The minds are weak, they're doctors, they're like dry bones.
They're like bangers and mashing extenders.
She was saying that.
They're watching Netflix and smoke and drink lagers and pints.
Brother, you got one moment? You got a moment? Nah. Yeah. She's gonna be like, their mind saying stuff, but there were 3 men, 3 black men, they were out there saying some things. I didn't go back to their country. But all the rest of them, they're walking around, you know. But that's what I'm saying. There are people gonna do that. It's because the infrastructure is weak. You're gonna see people start fleeing into their own places. They ain't gonna want to stay here. These are prophetic times.
Right.
You know, now look, you got the uproars in Nigeria, where they're trying to fight the Chinese man. The China man's Moab's trying to move into Nigeria and build up. They're like, nah, go back to your own, go on up to your own places.
Yeah, because China's foundation is weak.
Yeah.
They think that they've got strong land. Their lands are actually collapsing.
Exactly that.
They said there won't be a China soon. Because the foundations of it, like they created the tectonic plate, it's been making it fall down, man.
They're getting sinkholes every other day. It's sinking.
Sinkholes, potholes, people just walking along the pavement and then just falling into the abyss, man.
So what they're doing, like it says, they're gonna try and go to other people's land and they're gonna try and make. It's not working.
Not other people into Hamas land.
And they've already invested quite a lot.
Because they know that Jake don't belong there.
Yeah.
That's not your land. That's Hamite's land. So they're going there saying, no, they know that they're gonna give it up anyway.
Hey, stick to your signed contract. We had a contract. You know, we got the Israelites out for you. Let's go. You got to pay your due now. It's time to pay up. Cam's like, nah.
And that shows you how they're weak, because Jake, when they was in Hamite's land, they had to fight for the land and use swords and shields and that. Right? Use spiritual powers and that, whatever they were doing on that left hand side. But they're using the pen and paper, policies, and trying to come in there with their policies and that, because they're not strong. Why don't you do your title and try and fight man for the place?
And the thing is, they don't even give them jobs as well. They'll build up their own infrastructure, their own businesses, and they give jobs to their own Chinese.
No, and if they did want to give them jobs, they'll pay them pennies. Like what the Amalekites were doing. Amalekites were going over there, raping the place, and making them work for damn pennies. They were killing each other to get a job.
Let me just move this camera here because
People just
That's alright, leave it there. Leave it there. We're just going to get into this one on the news.
they just have to step through it.
I know. But yeah, that's it's them on that.
Yeah.
Everyone feed back into their own land. Yeah, so everyone's gonna feed back into their own land. When this infrastructure's done wasted and is a bit shaky, you know, because they're not banding together no more. They ain't got that confederacy against us no more. Because we're waking up. It's the last day. Whatever the Most High said that come forth out of his mouth, he's putting into fruition now.
Right.
And it's not our words. These are not our words. We're speaking, thus saith the Most High, that he said he's going to do. We're just telling you that we're seeing these things. They are unfolding. We are now doing a revelation. We are revealing it. We're telling you to go do your own research and look at these things happening. The Most High said it's going to be done. It's happening now. But you're walking like dry bones. You've got research?
CQ 38. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 51 and start from verse 1.
This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
Hold on. So we need to understand what we mean that the foundation is broken. What I mean by the household is broken. If Satan cast out Satan, how can he stand together if his house divided? We're going to show you who is Satan fighting against Satan in these prophetic times. But we're going to use the book and we're going to correlate it with today's situation, currency. Read.
And will send unto Babylon banners that shall fan her, and shall empty.
Oh, 50.
Oh, 50.
50 on the left.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1.
Bring it out.
The word that the Lord spake unto Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal it, and conceal not.
So the Most High is saying to Jeremiah, get this standard, write it down, seal it not, let everybody know what's going to happen to Babylon. Because it's a prophecy. This is what's going to happen to Babylon. Read.
Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded.
So all of their infrastructure, everything that they made the world believe is going to fall, is going to crumble. Yeah? Everyone's going to now not listen to their government system. Once that infrastructure is crumbled, all it is like, all it is people going to be like, the other nation about, yeah, now we see a weakness. They ain't got their people are against them. Let's now move in. They ain't got an army, read.
Her images are broken in pieces.
So all her lies are broken in pieces. You can't lie no more. People are against you. What verse are you?
Verse 3 now. I read up to 2.
This is about land of the north now.
Yeah. Okay.
Verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her.
From what?
Out of the north there cometh up a nation against her.
And we need to understand now we can tell you who Babylon is. Babylon will be spiritually today America and the UK, the Europeans. That will be Babylon.
The daughter and the mother.
The daughter and the mother. The daughter will be the UK. The mother will be the UK, England, the financial side of it, and the daughter, because she's worse than the mother, will be America. They do the most abominable wickedness in that country, in that state. They've done the most. That's prophecy. That's a prophet. That's prophesied in there. That's biblical. That's not just me. You can see it here today. You can discern the spirit of a nation by the Bible because of what the Bible describes it. Yeah? So Babylon in this context here, even though it's talking about the Babylonian time, it is a prophecy to Jeremiah. So it means it's going to happen again. Babylon here is America and the UK and the Europeans. Yeah? Now we need to read verse 3 again.
Jeremiah 50 verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her.
And what country is north of America? It'd be the other part of Europe. It'd be Russia. It'd be Slovakia. All of those nations there. Ukraine. Those are all north of America. Poland. Germany. All of the other ones, they're all there. That's the north country that this prophecy is talking about. So who's at war now? Because the book is telling you, before it's even happened, who these countries are. Because these are the two nations that are at war now. And those were the two heads. That's the iron and the clay now. This is where the iron and the clay getting involved. This is where the house is standing. Because once they had a confederacy, they had a bill of rights, one went against it, that was separate. The Israelites started waking up, they went against that bill of rights, were separated. They are now not working together. They have different agendas. Same motives and different agendas. So their main motive is always going to keep the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians at a lower status because we are God's chosen people. Right. That's going to always be their main focus, to keep us as low as possible so they can be that. Now they're fighting for that high seat. Is that the Pharisees when they were trying to fight for Moses' seat, getting on Moses' seat? But they're being hypocritical with it. That's what these nations are doing to themselves. See?
Yeah. Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein.
Yeah.
They shall depart, both man and beast, in those days and in that time. Just carry on, yeah? No.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna happen, man. Like, they're not gonna regard it now. They're gonna come and be like, yeah, it's on. Let's get it cracking, America. Putin's already said it. Putin already told America, keep supplying Ukraine with weapons of warfare. I'm gonna hit the button.
Talk about red lines now.
Yeah.
Crossing red lines.
Come across this border, I'm gonna start pushing buttons. He said to the UK when Boris Johnson was on that seat, Boris, get involved, I'm gonna push that button.
Right.
And what did Boris do? Try to big up his chest. And what did Putin do? 3 fighter jets over the UK, broad daylight. He's like, you think I'm playing? What did China do? Boris, you get involved, what's gonna happen? Stay out of my waters. When Boris got close to the water, what did China do? Army, not playing. What did Russia do? Back them. Not playing. This is prophetic times. The North is coming up against Babylon.
That's right.
The Russians against the British, man.
The Russians against the British. Americans are just British. With an accent. That's what they are. They're British people with an accent. The Russians are coming up against the British. But when it starts getting cracking, you need to know what side you are going to be on. Are you going to be on the side of the Most High? Or are you going to be a part of those people that's going to run to your oppressor, to a nation that you think that's going to save you, that they never did?
A lot of people are saying, not in this time, not in my days.
Well, our great-grandparents have been saying it. Not in my time, not. So whose time is it going to be? Because it's here. It's here now. It's boiling. The pot is it's getting turned up.
Like a boiling frog, yeah.
Soon start whistling in the
Pressure cooker.
And that whistle's when you're going to hear that
trumpet.
that nuke roar. What happens when it goes up, it whistles. And it shows you, when it hits, silent. Boom! Jump to verse 9 for you. And then get the Jeremiah 31.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations.
An assembly of great nations. So now, we just got the new countries. Now he's going to bring an assembly of great nations. So that's China with him. What they do? They're the BRICS. Yeah, they're the BRICS. Russia, China, Brazil.
Well, it says great nations from the North country.
Yeah,
Brazil.
but that's what I'm saying. He's coming up with a bad, isn't it? Yeah.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're the BRICS.
They're the BRICS.
And then you got Turkey might be soon invaded.
Yeah,
But apparently there's about 97 countries that have applied to join as well.
A lot of countries.
So read this again real quickly.
So Jeremiah.
Understand what's coming to Babylon. Read.
Jeremiah 50 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the North country.
Great nations from we just named the BRICS that were there, signed the decree. They're coming up with Russia. Read.
And they shall set themselves in array against her.
They're going to surround America. They're really doing it.
And the best way they surrounded her is with the finances.
Yeah.
They've made a currency. All these countries have got together, and now they have a new currency. They don't have China don't have the yin no more. Russia don't have the whatever they had, ripple. They all got South Africa, India.
Yeah. Because they had to trade with the US dollar. It's like a agreement from like 50 years ago. They have to trade oil and all that.
The petrol dollar. Yeah, but they don't trade the petrol dollar. They traded themselves with gold.
Yeah.
The BRICS is backed by gold.
Yeah, and that's what Russia said earlier on in the year. We are no longer going to be dealing with your digital finances. Yeah. We are going back to the natural minerals. They're going back to the coal, the copper, silver, the zinc. They're going back to minerals.
Yeah.
And that's why China jumped on it. Boom. On that bandwagon too. Yeah, we're going to do that.
They realized why they killed Gaddafi, man. You get me?
Yeah.
And then they said, right, so if they killed Gaddafi, that means he had something, he had something up his sleeve, man. Let's do it, because they ain't killing me. I dare you come and slap on me.
I'm going to push that button.
You can kill an African, you can kill a Hamite, you know what I mean? Or whatever he was. You ain't killing a Gomarian or
a Moabite
or a Prince of Meshach. You ain't killing the Prince of Moscow like that easy. You know what I mean? Or King Jong-un's or... They ain't killing them, man.
They choose their battles which they know they're going to win. They're weak ass.
Yeah, they're weaklings, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
They know who to infiltrate and go on like they're strong.
Yeah.
Because they play tricks on the people with their magic tricks, their Disney, the Marvel films and that. The Spider-Man and X-Men, they make the world think that they're super people, blood.
Yeah.
They're not super at all, blood. If anything, they're in debt. Like they're not financially strong either. They're in a lot of debt.
That's right.
For you to like, you know what I mean? It's just crazy, bro. And we call these people like there's someone to be scared of.
Like, is this the man that made the nation to trouble? That's what it is.
And he didn't even make it. We are the ones that was enslaved to put the bricks together and build the things, bro.
Exactly that.
In the wars, we was the ones in the forefront of the wars.
Yeah, no, but like we saying, the curses are now flipping on them because their household ain't banding together now. The Israelites are rising together and building a household. We're trying to build back our nation. Slowly but surely, that's why it's the 2/3 of our people have to go as well. But in order for us to go to get that kingdom and to get that promise, we have to endure some hardship. Because Jacob's trouble ain't even hit yet. We ain't even touched the cast of Jacob's trouble.
Germany went to war with England in World War II because they gave them the shittest parts of Africa when they had a treaty to take minerals from Africa. The Germans were like, bro, what is there, man? I went there and like, there's nothing here, bro. You got gold over there, you got rubber, right? You got oil, right? Even the Sun people had something. They had oil over there, you get me? Yeah. But you know what we got over here, bro? Any sort of mashed up lands that's got hills and forest and mad things and swampland. It went nuts. The Germans said, no. we're going into Africa, bro. Taking place, and then that's when the world was like, England had to go and say, look. That's why America didn't want to get involved. I was like, why haven't we getting involved? We're alright.
I suppose in England they had the Balfour Declaration. They had parts of Israel which they used to trade, didn't they?
Yeah, they had things. America had things. But the Balfour Declaration was created by the British.
For lo, I will raise, and this is Jeremiah 50 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, neither shall return in vain.
And that's what I'm saying. Putin's ready to push the button. He's given warning. He's already said, you broke your treaty. You broke that signed document to say we're going to do this to keep the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians and Latinos at a lower state. You broke that. So what are we going to do now? We're going to come and get our recompense. They're getting their recompense early. You know?
Right.
And when they get that, all hell's gonna break loose for these nations, for the so-called white man, and the Arab man, and Elam, and Moab. All of these nations, the infrastructure is gonna be hostile. There's gonna be no point to it. Russia's gonna take the next seat, but only for a time. It's not even going to be that long. And on that, I'm going to pass it over to the next powerful speaker. Hopefully you're edified and you do your own research. This is what we always say as well. Do your own research. Go and study for yourself. Study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of God and dividing the word of truth. So a matter what, man can never be ashamed. So you need to do this research, read your Bible, and correlate it with the times that we are in. So this is the things that we've been told to do, to gather together so we can prophesy about the times that we are in. Yeah, you can bring out one more piece.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
Okay, and that's a beautiful scripture, because that's talking about Israel. The Israelites are the Most High's battle axe and weapons of war, because after through all of this trials that we're going to go through, the persecution, the Jacob's trouble, like I said, we ain't even touched on Jacob's trouble going into these prophecies. Once we go through all of that, the Most High willing that me and my brothers are playing, the brothers that are labouring in truth and sincerity, the Most High changes us in the twinkling of an eye, and we can become that battle axe and weapon of warfare to bring back our nation, to make the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua great again amongst the heathens.
Right.
With that, I'm going to pass it over. Point, Mr.